Welcome to 0 to 60.
I'm Matt McChesney. I am the owner and operator of 6-0 Football Academy and 6-0 Equipment. Played at the University of Colorado from 2004. 6 years in the National Football League on both sides of football.
I'm Matt McChesney. This is 0 to 60. That is Coach Prime. We are at the University of Colorado. Brother, thank you so much.
All right. 0 to 60. We're rolling. Welcome to 0 to 60. It is Thursday. I'm your host, Matt McChesney. Bailey's on the ones and the twos. We got a lot to talk about today. So, Bailey, let's pay some bills and get rolling.
Let's pay some bills. It's good to be back here on this fine Thursday. This show is brought to you by BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you with constant real-time odds and action and the ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, NBA and college basketball, NHL to UFC and boxing, head to the website today to see why BetOnline is America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. Matt, man, it's good to be back on this fine show on 0 to 60. We've been off for a couple days, and a lot has gone on, man. A lot has gone on. We had National Signing Day, the early signing day yesterday. Colorado. Let's just say it was successful. I believe it's successful. Rivals and some other, media outlets may have some other things to say. I don't think matter, and I agree with that. But Matt, before we bring our special guest on, how are you feeling? How are we doing on this fine Thursday?
I've been a lot better than I am right now, but I'm okay. I'm pushing through it. I'm the best I can. So
yeah, absolutely. And those watching, keep Matt in your prayers, man. I know Matt's dealing with some back issues, and it's tough. And Matt, we all love you, and we appreciate you, and are keeping you in our prayers, man. And we will all wish you nothing but the best, man. But hey, speaking of that early signing day, one of Colorado's biggest recruits that they brought in, tight end recruit, signee, Colorado product, Zayne DeSouza is in the house. We're gonna go ahead and bring him in. Zayne, welcome. Not thank you enough for joining. 2025 tight end signee, Colorado signee, Zayne DeSouza. Welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
Wrap it up for the boys. What's up, dog?
How you doing?
What's up?
Good, man. How's Buffalo Wild Wings?
It's pretty good. We did the Blazing Hot Challenge,
Nice.
Oh, boy. It wasn't the best.
Nice. Oh, well, look, Zayne signed last night in the early signing period with that great group of players that ended up signing here with the University of Colorado and Coach Prime's class. Just talk about the class a little bit, bro. How excited are you to be part of this group?
I'm super excited. I think we have a great class coming in, especially with the addition of Julian Lewis recently. I think he'll be a great quarterback for us, hopefully. I'm just super excited to get to work and, hopefully bring a national championship to CU.
That's what I like to hear.
Let me ask you one other thing. I can only imagine your excitement leading up to this day of finally signing, putting the pen to paper, and finally saying, hey, I'm signed. I'm going to be a Colorado Buffalo. Just describe that feeling yesterday of finally making it to that day, that signing day, and becoming a Colorado signee.
It was just like everything that I've worked for throughout these last 4 years has just been, honestly, my whole life. But it's just, I don't know, it's just an amazing feeling. Nothing really like it. You can't really explain it. But it's just like everything that you ever wanted, just like with a little piece of paper, just signing it. It's crazy. It was a crazy feeling with all my family and my friends there, and it just meant a lot.
Zayne, talk about a little bit your journey through 6-0. There's a lot of kids out in Colorado. I see it all day, every day on Twitter and Instagram that want to get recruited, and I always tell everybody this place is the bridge. It's definitely not an escalator. You came in and worked your ass off. Just tell everybody about the process a little bit, and just, walking in with no offers and walking out committed to the University of Colorado. Just enlighten everybody to exactly what the process is for the Dungeon family guys.
Well, all I can say is if if you're in Colorado and you want offers, I don't know why you're not at 6-0. That's all I can say. I mean, I walked in there, told Matt exactly what I wanted. He told me what I needed to do. He told me it wasn't going to be easy, and I accepted that. And I was like, and he was just pushing me every single day. He was helping me get recruited. He helped me with everything, really. And then he got me my Colorado offer, and then just signed, committed, and proof is in the pudding.
Sealed, signed, delivered, baby. I love it.
Absolutely. Let me ask you, as you get into like starting to really shift your focus, preparing to head to Colorado this offseason, what are some of your biggest keys before you end up heading to Colorado? What are you looking to hit the weights, eating? What are your biggest goals this offseason?
A lot of it getting my body right, working on like the little things that I could work on, being a tight end. I'll be going down to 6-0 a lot probably, and having Matt work with me, whatever he thinks I can improve on. Honestly, and just working on my body a lot though.
Absolutely.
And then let me ask this question too. I know we're kind of all over the map here, but it's a great day. Now you've got a bunch of the younger guys, younger by a year or two, at the gym that are all getting recruited. They offered Deacon. Obviously, they're on Breck's ass. They haven't offered Reese Russell yet, but they should. He's in the gym. There's a lot of talent in there. I as the first commit of my class in 2000, way back in the day, Jesus, I was actively trying to help Barnett, bag the other good players in the state. I know you'll be a mouthpiece for what's going on up there in Boulder, but what would be your sales pitch to the next generation trying to get them in the door? Now you're a recruiter. Go.
I'd say if you want to start your own legacy, if you want to like be on top of like a team that's building and growing, I don't know why you wouldn't come to Colorado. There's a bunch of opportunity in Colorado, and I've been talking to Deacon a lot, and
I feel good about it. I feel good about it too, the big bastard.
Let me ask you, talking a little Colorado team about we had you on at the beginning of the year, and man, what a season for the Buffaloes this season. What are your thoughts on Colorado finishing 9-3 and their performance this season since we've had you on early in the season? I think he might be frozen.
Did he freeze with the Zoolander?
Oh, we got you, Zane?
Am I good?
Yeah.
I think, they had an amazing season. They shut a lot of people up. From where they were 2 years ago to now is insane progress. And, I don't know how you can hate on Coach Prime and the Bucks. I don't really understand it. He's just someone that's trying to build a program and help kids. I don't really see the hate, but people are going to hate for no reason. So, they've done everything that they've been asked to do. They made the bowl game. They were just short of the playoffs, but that Kansas loss really hurt them. But I think next year we'll definitely be in the playoffs though.
Woo, boy. Yeah, and you know this too, Zane, and I'd say this to you guys all the time. People really hate on what they don't understand. It's the same as the gym. Mm-hmm. How many people do you know that think we're lighting people on fire down there and it's too hard and I'm too they don't understand what we're doing, or they don't have to say it. They can't see the destination the same way we do. It's the same thing in Boulder. People are starting to come around, but it's still there. Just wait until we talk about the awards and how 3 guys were awarded out of all those ballers. Yeah. All right, but look, all that said, you got a great opportunity here in front of you, bro. You're going in with a great class. You've got a 5-star quarterback coming in with you. The tight end position, in my opinion, no offense to the men that are up there right now, is wide ass open. It is wide open for the taking as a freshman. How motivated are you to go in there and just hit the ground running from day one? I know that Coach Prime doesn't want to recruit freshmen that can't play, which I absolutely love. And you being one of those guys, just talk about how excited you are to walk in the door and be in competition to play immediately.
You can't really ask for much more. You want to get on the field as soon as you can and be able to do it your freshman year. You can't really ask for much more. Like Coach Prime said, he recruits freshmen to play right out the way. right out the gate. Anywhere you go, honestly, there's going to be competition, but that just comes with the nature of football. So, that's honestly what makes football and, what makes sports. And that's what makes sports fun, to be honest. I mean, if there's no competition, what's the point of even playing or even doing anything? So,
and then I wanted to ask you too, Coach Prime, when you committed to, I want you to tell the story of when you committed to Coach Prime again and talking to him about, well, are you going to stay? And his response, I think it's pertinent now, just as it was then.
Absolutely.
Just tell that story one more time, because I think our viewers and everybody in the comments would love to hear it.
Well, I asked him, I was like, are you going to stay? And he said, are you going to come to Colorado and transfer after 1 year and just quit on me? That's what he said. He said, you're more prone to transfer than I am to leave, because I've already been to the NFL. I've already done all mine. I'm just trying to help you guys out now. So, I mean, I don't really need the NFL.
I love that story. That's a great – I love that shit. That's awesome, man. It makes me want to run through a wall. Not right now, of course, but maybe one day when I can move a little bit better. So.
Absolutely. Zayne, yeah, tremendous story. That's unbelievable. And I love hearing that as well. One thing I want to show is your phone call with Coach Phillips, just talking about the best players in Colorado stay home. Take a listen.
Hey, man, the best players in Colorado stay home. Hey, today embarks day one of the journey to go win the 2025 Big 12 championship. This time next year, we're going to be playing. Remember, I told you that. It's because of the work. It's because of the work that you guys get ready to come in and do, man. I'm excited for y'all.
I'm excited too.
Best players in Colorado stayed home. Zayne, what are your thoughts on that? And yeah, that's awesome.
And that's the truth too. Being a Colorado kid myself and a Northern Colorado kid like Zayne, and Deacon, by the way, the best kids in Colorado do stay home. And do they miss some guys? Yeah, they miss some guys. But I'll tell you, if you're a baller in Colorado and you aren't looking at what's going on up in Boulder with some wide eyes and, very aware of the greatness, then I'm telling you, man, you're going to miss out on some shit. Zayne, how do you feel about that?
I mean, like he said, next year we're going to be playing right now. And that's what I said earlier. And, if we get more Colorado guys coming in, there's a lot of talent in Colorado. I think it's a lot of slept-on talent. And I think Deacon and Breck might want to come home, but I don't know. It's up to them.
But we got to keep the 24-hour buffet rolling up there in Boulder. And Coach Lodeholt just brought in some big-time offensive linemen in this class as well. So, yeah, I agree. It's why wouldn't you want to come, build your legacy in your home state, with your family right down the road. And then for so many years – it was we Colorado kids had the ability to do that, and then there's a 20-year hiatus. And I truly believe with them playing in the bowl game, and I wanted to get this question in. I'm glad I remembered it. With all the big timers playing in the bowl game, it's been 20 years since we won one. There's a lot of people out there that don't think bowl games mean anything. I think that narrative is going to shift, and I think Coach Prime is going to help it shift because he expects all of his guys to go play and finish. And he's not afraid to talk about it. He's not afraid to sit there and let them know that they're wrong for sitting out, that he doesn't care what the narrative is. As a guy who wants to play in the NFL and has the ability to, and a guy who did play in myself, I respect the shit out of that. I love it. You're there to play football. Why aren't we playing in football games? All this like, well, you could get hurt. Yeah, bro. And then I could have an air conditioner dropped on me or get hit by a golf cart. Or get West Nile, but like there's a lot of shit that can kill you. Yeah. Football never did that to me. So, how do you feel about that? I think it's pretty cool.
I mean, I don't really. If you can play, I don't know why you don't play. I mean, you can get hurt walking down your stairs. I mean, I remember I think John Wall in like 2018, he tore his Achilles tendon. He fell down the stairs or something like that. I mean, it's just if you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna get hurt. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I mean, it's just part of life. It's part of football. It's part of sports. It's just nothing you can do. So if you can play, you should play. I mean, and it's an awesome opportunity to go play in a bowl game. So I don't know why you wouldn't want to.
And I really think they're going to end up winning the bowl game this year too, regardless if it's the Alamo against BYU or Iowa State, which we will play another conference game pretty much. Or if they end up in the Holiday against Miami, which is what I want really bad. Yeah. The Holiday Bowl against Miami would be fucking lights out.
Trick.
Like the ratings would go through the fucking roof, and it would force Cam Ward to play because you can't go out there in competition for the number one spot in the draft with Shador, and he plays and balls, and you sit there and watch him ball. That's training to be a fan, not a quarterback. All right, Bailey, let's get a couple more in here with Big Zane and wrap this up. I know he's got shit to do. Are you guys in basketball or no? Yeah, you're in basketball season right now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just had our first game yesterday.
Yeah, talk about that, Zane.
Did you dunk on anyone's face?
No, I was shooting a lot of threes.
You're shooting lights out last night. Yeah, shoot or shoot. Fucking shoot or shoot, bro. This is what we're talking, shoot or shoot.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's go, Bailey. Sorry, brother.
Well, yeah, I wanted to ask about that. Is your plans to play a full basketball season in this offseason, correct?
Yeah.
Man, what are your thoughts headed into your senior season of basketball, man? I mean, my father played college basketball, and I come from a basketball family, so I know what that's like. What are your thoughts headed into your senior season for basketball, high school?
Family.
Hold on, Zane. I think he's having some connection issues, big man. Let's see if
the internet is undefeated for being.
Zane could leave and he might be. Let's see if he's back here.
Am I good?
Zane, we got you. There we go. Go ahead, Zane.
Coming from a basketball family, it's my last year playing basketball, so I just want to win. Loveland we haven't really won that many basketball games, or we have not been that good in the past. And I think this year we have a good chance to go to the playoffs and win our conference. I mean, I can't really. I'm just going to give everything I got and play the best I can. And for my coaches who have done a lot for me, my basketball coaches have done a lot for me. So, I love basketball. I just want to go out there and just compete.
Kobe or Mike, or LeBron?
Oh, good question.
Come
on. Oh, man, that was a great question.
Kobe, Mike, or LeBron? I can't answer this question, Coach.
Go ahead, Matt. Zane, why don't you leave and join back real quick because I got to get his answer. But Matt, what is your answer to that question, Matt? Go ahead.
Where is he?
He's having a connection issue. I just told him to leave and join back. But I want to get while we're waiting for him to join back, what is your answer to that question? I got to know what you think.
For me?
Yeah.
Well, Mike obviously is number one because he's Michael Jordan. I'm 6-0 in the finals. He's Michael Jordan. I don't want to hear any shit. Kobe's 2.
I agree with you.
And then LeBron's 3.
Yeah.
And LeBron might be 4th. I don't know, man. I like LeBron. I think LeBron is an unbelievable fucking player. I think he's an unbelievable athlete, maybe the best athlete that's ever walked the earth, okay? But Kobe and Mike were killers, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Kobe and Mike were killers. So I'll ask the same question again.
I'm back.
Mike, Kobe, LeBron. Who's number 1 and rank the 3?
You might hate me for this one.
And if somebody's not in there, that who we missing? Because your generation thinks, who we missing in your generation?
I'm gonna say LeBron.
Ooh, 1?
Yeah.
What?
My God.
MJ and then Steph. You got to put Steph.
Steph over Kobe?
Kobe? Oh.
Kobe is okay.
Steph, Kobe is a god.
If we're talking about impact, Steph. He's not a freak of nature, like physically, athletically. He can shoot. He does everything like based off of skill and the work he put in and his IQ.
Well,
that's fair. That's fair.
I can't tell him he's wrong. It's a pending question. All right. So how about you're a big guy? I know you're not. Are you playing the 2 or are you playing the 4 or the 5?
4.
I know you stretch the 3-point line. I know you do. So okay, I rank big guys differently than skill than the rest. So the 4s and 5s, I'm not going to have the greatest conversation. Like that's for 1, 2s, and 3s. But I'll say the 4s and the 5s have their own class. So, how do you feel? We got Jokic right down the street. I think Nikola might end up being the best basketball player that's ever walked the earth, and when he's done, and that's high praise. How cool is it having that kind of guy down the street? I had to watch, the CW back in the day in Chicago to see Michael Jordan play. We can just go watch Nikola.
Yeah, he's definitely an employee of the month, as they like to say. It doesn't even look like he likes being there. He just wants to go ride his horses, but it's funny to watch him. It's true.
I love it, bro.
Funny to watch him. People call me.
Oh shit, Big Zane, bro. You got anything else, Bailey? Or are we good?
We're good, Zane, man. I can't thank you enough for joining, man. It was an honor, tremendous day. Man, I know Matt's so damn proud of you, and all the viewers and all of us watching, myself
We
included,
need to
man,
we
we're
need
so
to
damn
finish.
proud
But
of you.
yes, I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
But man, Zane, we can't thank you enough for joining, man. You got any big plans for the rest of the day today, or no?
Just school and practice.
No doubt, brother. No doubt.
Study and ball.
Yeah.
Fucking Jim Tan laundry.
Absolutely. But Zane, man, we can't thank you enough for joining, man. Go have a great
What kind of
baseball
gum is
season.
that?
Sorry.
Is that good? Is that Bubblicious? The gum you're chewing, is that good? Is that what kind of gum is it?
I think it's 5 gum. I don't know. I always have
Vibe gum. Vibes are up. Vibes are fucking up in Zane's house. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
I love it. Hey, big boy, I'm proud of you, man. I can't thank you enough for all the work you put in and the ambassador you are for the facility and now for our home. So officially welcome to the Buffalo family. And remember this, bro, the pride and tradition of the Colorado Buffaloes will never be entrusted to the timid or the fucking weak. And that is now being entrusted to you. So I cannot fucking wait to watch you go up there and set records and go to the league, dog. So enjoy your day. Go dunk on someone's face.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome,
Zane,
brother.
thank you for joining, man. Have a great day. Man, it's Colorado 2025 tight end signee, Zayne DeSouza. Man, Matt, then that's awesome, man. We had him on at the beginning of the year. Now he's signed with Colorado after a great 9-3 season from Colorado. Man, what unbelievable. What an interview.
It's big time, dude. And then just the recruiting these days is getting crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just take 2 minutes here, but
Go ahead.
this is what we do at the gym. Like there's this narrative out there that like I'm mean and it's too hard. And like I've been pretty hard on the state of Colorado because of it. And maybe I just need to accept the fact that if you're elite, it is hard. The Navy SEALs are hard. Like if you don't think that you have to work hard for this, then why should I be wasting time and energy mentally on everybody that can't do it and doesn't understand it? And I need to just rally and focus that into people that can do it and want to. So they're littered all over the state of Colorado. They were in there again this morning. Check out 60academy.com. Bailey built the website. It's awesome. You can go on there and you can schedule a consult. But I don't care if you're an 11-year-old whip or about to be a grown-ass man in college football making a paycheck like Zane and Breck and Deacon and our man Davis Moon is the newcomer of the year potentially in 5A football, the left guard of Valor, or Big Nick, or any of these guys. Like they're all chasing the bag and chasing the opportunity, and we're just trying to provide a foundation for them outside of their high school. It's not a high school coach's job to help with recruiting, but it's also a high school coach's job. It is a high school coach's job to not interfere with advancement. So rather than thinking I'm the boogeyman, and yeah, I am a little Baba Yaga-ish. It's okay. But rather than thinking I'm the boogeyman in a negative term, understand the amount of people we put out. This is now shit with Carter committing the other day. Carter Daniels committing to CSU Pueblo. And CT Worley last night got Colorado State. They want him to early enroll. And CT plays for the state title this weekend up in Broomfield, plays Montrose in the 4A title. I'm actually meeting with Cole LaCrue, who won the last title at Broomfield 2 years ago today. He just entered the transfer portal from Wisconsin. So he's back home, and we're trying to set him up. And this is a springboard to your goals. And yeah, we're going to push you because you're good. Like, that's the thing that everybody needs to understand. If you're good and you don't want to be pushed because you think you're good enough, you have to understand there's two different types of people. There's guys who like football, and there's guys who need football.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that if you come from a nice place that you don't need it, but it's much easier to like something when you don't have anything else going on. when it's just life is good and I like playing football, so I'm going to keep going to do it. When you need it like air and it is your way to get out of a situation, it is your way to live in a different way or put your family in a different stratosphere. When you need it, I'll do anything for need.
Yep.
I need oxygen. Like I'll do anything for need. I'll hit the snooze button on like a lot. You feel me? Like,
yeah,
I like the NFL, but I will fleek through a game faster than you can say the game started. The game started. 3 minutes later, I'm asleep and Bree's sitting there like, hey, what the fuck? And I'm over here like, but you put a CU game on and we're doing a live broadcast and I'm screaming at the fucking TV because I need that shit. I like the NFL. So my point to everybody out there is every high school coach, every kid, whether you're in Saskatchewan, I don't give a fuck where you're at. If you play football, we've got a program for you to help you get to where you need to go. You know, the big Nick Chastain, the JUCO product, the big tackle, he got offered by CU the other day. He got offered a PWO to come walk on. I was like, fucking A, you should do that.
Yeah. Absolutely
go. Like, why wouldn't you want to go? So,
Keith, we appreciate the donation.
Yeah, man, we really appreciate it. I just think that not just the University of Colorado, like, of course I want Breck and Deacon to go to CU next year. Of course I do. John Stevens also plays for Windsor, and he's a big defensive lineman, and I think he's going to be a really, really great player. And Brody Seek, who had 15 sacks this year at Arapahoe, is a fucking animal outside linebacker. Of course I think they could go to CU and play, but if they don't, and it's another school out there that presents them with great opportunity, then that is also incredible. You know, the rising tide brings all of us up, all right? And it's something that if you're not prepared for the journey you're going on and you don't understand why, there's two different ways of thinking here. Being a coach for the last year at Mount Vista was incredible. Okay, the way the season ended was not cool, but it is what it is. Mm-hmm. If your coach looks at you and you're a good player and he's not demanding the absolute best out of you and pushing you mentally and physically every day to achieve that, you're being cheated. You're being cheated by a fan who likes watching you play and doesn't really bring anything to the table. And I'm not trying to talk shit. If you take offense to that, I guess I'm talking to you. But if you have a coach who is literally on your ass every day, and I'm not talking a negative like, what the fuck, why can't you do it? That's not coaching. That's bitching. Mm-hmm. I am talking about, yeah, you read your key, but did you really hustle? Are you chasing the ball? Yeah, you're winning against this kid, but you could dominate him. Like if it's never good enough for a coach who actually knows what he's talking about, and every parent and every kid knows the difference. Mm-hmm. The reason I get so much shit, do you think it's because I can't coach and don't help kids get recruited? Like that's one thing I have to constantly tell myself is like, you're only getting shit and you're only getting the people in Colorado who are venomous towards what we do at 6-0 because you're actually doing it and you don't need the structure. That's the problem. I'm not inside the structure. I'm on the outside of the structure.
True.
I don't need the structure in order to achieve the goal. The kid doesn't have to beg his high school coach for help when they can go invest at 6-0. And I ask every kid that walks in, what does ROI mean? Return on investment. That's what we're looking for at the gym. Mm-hmm. This isn't 24-hour fitness. We're not doing spin classes and shit. We tried to. Didn't work. No, shockingly, I know. But, like, it's an investment. It's like 15, 20 times a day I get, hey, can you give me some tips or can you watch my film and evaluate it? And I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but I'm a businessman. This is a business. I'm not giving away my expertise for tips and film evaluations. So like you can feel, that's the other thing. You're being cheated too. Mm-hmm. Because that's not like, what tip do you want me to give you? Bend your knees. You've heard that a million times. When I watch your film, what do you want me to write you back a big paragraph and like take a bunch of time out of I don't even know who you are. Mm-hmm. If you won't invest in you, if you won't invest in you, why should I take the time out of my day to invest in you? I already have my pension. I already know what NFL players look like. I already know how to slot people into college. I already have the bridge. It's not surprising that Zayne walks in with no offers or opportunity, and now he's committed to CU. Deacon walked in with no offers or opportunity. He's offered by everyone. Tennessee just offered him.
Yeah.
Breck is the number one offensive lineman in the country, walked in with no offers, no opportunity. Carter Daniels this year from Vista, the defensive player of the year in 5A, absolute stud.
Mm-hmm.
You know, had a couple like NAIA offers. By the time he got out of the program this year, he's committed to CSU Pueblo on a full ride.
Yep.
CT walked in with no opportunity this year, going to be a senior now. He's probably going to go to CSU and be there in January. They're early enrolling him. Do you understand when they asked for you to early enroll how much they like you as a player?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not asking them to early enroll him. He's asking. They're asking him to early enroll. It's like a huge compliment.
Yeah.
So, and this is just a very short list or a very short grouping of a huge list of guys. We've had one kid in the entirety of my program, Aiden Nakia-Kanaina, who was at Mullen, who walked in with an Oregon offer as a freshman. He started as a sophomore. Now he's playing at Cal. He's got one more season. He'll be an NFL guy. He's the only guy that's ever walked in with an offer. Everybody else has walked in with a goal. Everyone.
Yep.
And that goes for Sam Jones, who got drafted by the Broncos, went to Arizona State, by the way. Kenny Dillingham beats out Coach Prime for Coach of the Year. Can't be real mad about that one.
Yeah.
Can't be mad about that one. I love Kenny.
Great.
I think Arizona State and CU are going to turn into a really, really big rivalry game moving forward, just because they're both going to be good at the same time. And next year that game's in Boulder, and it's going to be it's going to be wild. Oh, yeah. So let's get into the rest of the show. But I will say that the ability for an athlete and a parent to look at themselves and say a couple things. Number one, you're not as good as you think you are. Number two, you're not as bad as you think you are either. And number three, if you will just work, that's really the prize, the process.
Yeah.
The prize is not the bag of money you get or the social media posts or all the fucking back rubs and blowjobs and bullshit. That comes with it, bro. Even the scrub walk-ons got an NIL deal with Crocs. Everybody gets a little bit. He's got a girlfriend too. The backup, the just ask Matt Stafford's wife. The backup quarterbacks gets blowjobs and back rubs too, right?
Yes.
I mean, even Stafford's third string, fourth string got some shit. So but do you actually want to maximize this, or are you good just scratching the surface? So I wish to God that I had someone like me back in the day telling me this shit. I was just, I saw at a camp. Alfred Williams was coaching the defensive line. I was whipping this guy's ass from California. He was a 5-star. 3 weeks later, I'm getting offered at the Baylor game when they wore the gold jerseys. Before I know it, I'm there. 5 years flew by. You're fucking in college. It's crazy. I wish I had somebody that would have grabbed me by the back of the neck, other than my position coach, who could only do so much. And be like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? And it's the ability for these kids to have that at 6-0 and through me is why we do what we do. I think I'm gonna start looking at any of the hate or the vitriol towards what we do as a compliment. To be completely honest with you, and it kind of is what it is. So, all right, look, we got a lot more to talk about here today. Bailey and I are about to cut this up. We haven't been on all week. We appreciate everybody being here. Again, thank you for everything you do. Any donations and super chats and all that shit, it's up. We appreciate you. So, yeah, let's bang this out because I got to go get the little ones, and my back is fucking killing me sitting in this chair.
And yeah, let's get the show over with. Matt, before we take a commercial break, and to those watching, become a member of the Dungeon family. The super chat button is open, man. We appreciate you. We're back. Like Matt just said, we had a brief hiatus for the Thanksgiving holiday. But man, Matt, Colorado, speaking over the Thanksgiving holiday, Colorado whipped that ass against Oklahoma State, took belt to ass 52-0. Travis Hunter, obviously hell of a performance on offense from Shador. I mean, Oklahoma State looks really, really, really freaking bad. Matt, what were your takeaways from this game? Let's just get those before we go to commercial.
I was shocked that they just quit.
Yeah.
They fired their OC and their DC. They need to evaluate Gundy for head trauma. That cow knocked him the fuck out. Watching this game, it was incredible. Travis locked up the Heisman, Shador, like the last game in Folsom for those two was incredible. I wish it wasn't at 10 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, put it at 3 or put it at night. Like the 10 a.m. games, I know Coach Prime likes them. I fucking hate them. I hate them. I hate the 10 a.m. games. I'd rather play at night. I dig night games, bro, under the lights and shit. I love that. I don't give a fuck about sitting around all day. The juice is just, it's a slow simmer before the boil.
Right.
But other than that, I thought it was incredible. 52 to nothing to end the season's awesome. But I'm not going to lie, bro. The whole time I was sitting there watching it going, we couldn't have done this against Kansas. Where the fuck was this team?
No.
And that, look, 9-3 is incredible and hopefully win 10 games. And if they do, then thank God. The Heisman's coming to Boulder. All the awards we're about to go over, which is just scratching the surface because we're going to get national awards in Boulder too. But then looking at it, I couldn't help but revert back to the Kansas game and the flop. So they learned from it, obviously, and got better. Mm-hmm. Watching Houston try and beat BYU and literally the football gods handing Houston every goddamn opportunity, even at the end.
Oh my goodness, Matt! We didn't even talk about this.
The screen pass. They had like 3 stops inside the 20. The defense ball for Houston, the offense for Houston, dog.
Their quarterback.
The offense for Houston might be the worst. That might be the worst quarterback and the worst offensive play I think I've ever seen in my entire fucking life.
Seriously? I know it was bad, but
it was so bad. It was so bad. So watching that and just watching, even until that, it was almost like a curse. I had to watch the whole game because it was close. And then in the fourth quarter, they're 1 score away and they fumble it and it rolls 70 yards backwards. And you're just sitting there watching the ball roll like, Jesus Christ, this isn't really happening, is it? Now, all that said, incredible year. Way to cap it off by beating Oklahoma State's ass 52 to nothing. It sets you up for a great recruiting class and a great signing day. Mm-hmm. You'll always wonder what if, okay? But so they'll wonder what if at Miami as well. They're going to wonder what if at Clemson or SMU this week. Because, when you're playing games, essentially the Kansas game was a playoff game.
Yeah.
So, it kept us out, but it shouldn't keep us down by any means. I mean, the University of Colorado had a redemption year, and I couldn't be prouder to be a Buff. And I really hope they wear gold helmets in the bowl game because I haven't seen a gold helmet in like 2 months.
Yeah, no, you're right. They've been wearing black, white helmet. Yeah, we haven't seen the gold in a while.
Although that look right there that they had on Sunday or on Saturday was Friday, whatever fucking day it was so clean.
Pretty fucking clean.
Like the Buffalo emblem really pops on the white with the black. Like it was that combination right there. That's why, Coach Prime is not just he makes us look good, dog. And you got to look good to play good. That's the defensive lineman inside of me. I never understood how offensive linemen can walk out looking sloppy. If you don't have a little bit of pride in how you look on the field, then you don't have a lot of pride in who you are as a man, in my opinion. If you should want to look good on the field, not be the one out there that has no drip or kids that wear jammies and shit to practice, jammy pants, don't have their practice jerseys. That shit's not going to work, dog. Now get the fuck off the field. And let's put on some fucking shoes and stop wearing your Crocs to practice and shit. It's just a very laissez-faire generation. So I'm glad to see that they are taking so much pride in how they look.
Yeah, those uniforms are pretty damn clean. In terms of the game, Oklahoma State just quit. I watched 2 drives of it. I was on a thing with Coach JB. We were working that day, but I was watching. I was like Oklahoma State just quit. They look horrific. And JB was like, yeah, is what it is. JB actually picked Colorado, I think. Didn't he pick Colorado in this game? I think this is the only.
But at this point, man, fuck him. He doesn't need to get on the bandwagon. I don't want him on the bandwagon.
One thing he did like, and I mean, we talked about this, is Coach Prime encouraging Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are just saying that, hey, you're playing in the bowl game, having that mentality. I'm going to go ahead and play that clip. Coach Prime on Shedeur and Travis's status for the bowl game. Take a listen.
We're going to play in our bowl game because that's what we signed up to do, and we're going to finish. We're not going to tap out because that throws off the structure of next season. It's a couple teams, you take note, they laid an egg in the bowl game, and they hadn't recovered since.
Take a little shot at Florida State or wherever there. Matt, your thoughts on that? I think it's great.
Bro, I think it's absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody playing. I don't understand. I understand it's an exhibition game. So are the first 3 games of the season. They're non-conference. Yeah. Why aren't we sitting those out? Like it. Back in the day when I played, old head, this wasn't even a thing. You know, and look, Christian McCaffrey started a trend. I'm not mad at him about it, but I do think the trend is going to reverse. I think kids are going to take more pride in playing, honestly. I don't, some guys, if you want to stick, if the kid from Missouri, the receiver, wants to go start getting ready for the league now, my question to him is, you haven't been getting ready for the league for 3 years? Going to football practice and lifting and being in structure and playing in a football game doesn't help you get ready for the league. So I don't know, man. I think that this is the time of the year where, like, running around in underwear and being lied to, all these kids getting fucking lied to by agents and scouts and shit is, like, going to be most prevalent. You're the best. We love you when they're writing down, like, fat and out of shape because you're listening to some guy who's throwing you fucking money that he's leveraging against you and charging you a vig on to go, like, train, but you should be playing football. Like, it, I'm going to be working with a bunch of guys this year for the draft, and it's amazing the way mentalities change and the way guys, like, start believing what some guy they've never met tells them. Like, you've never met this agent before. Right. How do you even know? It might be AI for all you know. So it's
yeah.
I think that the fact that they're playing is awesome. Is it because their dad's the coach? Yeah, probably. But if my dad was the coach and I wouldn't want him out there taking rounds by himself. Nah, fuck that. We're doing this together. I've been telling everybody all year this is the last dance of the Sanders family.
Yeah.
They're not going to take one more opportunity to go out and ball.
Kidding me? Come on.
Like, come on, dog. So I love the fact that everybody's going to play. And I'll tell you, if you get slotted against CU in the ball game and you trot out walk-ons, they will beat you 100-0.
Facts.
And it will turn into one of the worst days ever because this is what people don't understand. Your logo and your school, even if you sit out, is still on the field. Mm-hmm. So it's not like the game's not going to happen just because you don't come. So if a kid's like, I don't want to play, and he's a major part of the team, all you're doing is totally selling out your team. Mm-hmm. So, when they walk out there and get shit stomped, they're like, oh, well, they didn't have this guy. No one's going to work. No one's going to fucking remember that 10 years from now. They're going to look at the score.
Yeah.
And I hope you go to the league and ball and everything works out the way you want it to, because one day you're going to look back and go, I've heard coaches say to me, you only get a certain amount of these. You only get a certain number of games in your life to play. Mm-hmm. And you're passing one up because you think that you're better than the bowl game. What if you go out in the bowl game and beat Travis Hunter on a route and it helps you get drafted?
I mean, yeah, exactly. It could be, it could really elevate you.
Fucking A. Instead of sitting there acting like you're special. So I would figure that Coach JB would be, like, applauding this and them playing. Oh, yeah. I hope he was.
Yeah, he was.
And that's what I would think he would do. So anybody, like any old head who has criticized kids not playing and now they're flipping because Shedeur and Travis are, and now you're going to get mad at the CU kids for playing, I think you're just mad at the CU kids.
Well, I don't know if that's
it's amazing to me. Like, I'm hearing guys now that I've literally heard in the past say, all these kids are sitting out. They're all fuck them. And now that there's superstars saying they're going to play, and now they're stupid for not sitting out. What?
Yeah, I don't get that argument.
Wake up.
I don't get that argument at all. I think
you're there to play football.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll speak for JB. I know JB applauded this. This is what he's been saying forever. Don't sit out bowl games. This is the problem. This is the portal. And really the debate was, what started players sitting out of bowl games? Was it the portal or was it Christian McCaffrey? That was kind of the debate. But nonetheless,
McCaffrey was the first one that did it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, before we move on from this bowl game topic, I do want to show Colorado offensive line coach Phil Loadhold kind of reiterating the same topic. It ain't over until, essentially Colorado's in, or what he said, he's on.
It ain't over until Phil's in Jamaica, son.
Yeah, exactly. Take a listen.
All right, but we're not done yet either. All right, we got a bowl game. We're not just going to the bowl game to play in it. And we're not celebrating because we're in the bowl game. All right, we're going to win the bowl game. I told y'all before, all right, my season ain't over till my feet are in the sand in Jamaica, and we still here. All right, so we need to go finish this shit off right.
Exactly.
Short and sweet from a really tall son bitch. I'm so glad Coach Loadhold's here and everything worked out. He got a great recruiting class, by the way. Got another 5-star, flipped Carday Smith. Yeah, we told y'all this shit was going to happen, and he's flipped. Couldn't get big boy from Alabama to flip. Coach Kapovic's got his hooks in there, but it's okay. The recruiting class is incredible, and Coach Loadhold is very active in recruiting, and he's not afraid to let his opinion be known. And look, he's a man of few words, but they are powerful. So, I just each coach has got an opportunity to go up there and talk to this group. Look, I'm going to reiterate this damn near every day we do the show moving forward. And if I ever get a chance to talk to the team, this is what I'd say. We have not won a fucking bowl game in Boulder since I was a senior in college. Mm-hmm. In 2004, we won the Houston Bowl. We were 8-5. I was pissed. I was so mad we were 8-5. We were supposed to be 10-3. But we lost 2 games in overtime. But we won. It was cool. I didn't really at the time realize how special it was because it was the last time we would win a bowl game. But like Clapp was the starting quarterback on that team.
Right, yeah.
We had some really good players. To think it's been 20 years. This is the 20-year anniversary of a bowl game win. The importance of this is not just for this team, it's for the history of our university. We need to get off this list. So I don't care who our opponent is. I'm praying to God we play Miami in the Holiday Bowl just because it will force those guys to play at Miami. If they don't play, they're going to look really, really, really fucking dumb. And that would be a great game if everyone decides to play. But if they end up in the Alamo Bowl against Iowa State or BYU, go absolutely eviscerate those people. If they don't want it, look, I can't imagine that either one of those teams, all those guys would sit out. This is the thing. If you're just sitting out because you think you're a player, you're not. There's no thinking you're a player. They already know right now who the first rounders are. There might be a guy that sneaks his way in the top 32, but they've already got boards and everything outlining who they think is worthy of being drafted there, and they're wrong on 20 of the 32.
Yeah.
So the draft is the biggest bunch of Chicago backhanding bullshit on earth, bro. The combine is total bullshit. If you can play, you're getting this love in the draft world because you can play, not because you can run fast. You can run fast, which helps you play. It's at some point they need to revolutionize the way they evaluate players too. Because listening to Mel Kiper and Todd McShay and all these draft experts every year makes my fucking head want to explode.
Yeah. So shout out to Mel Kiper and Cover 2. And this is speaking of, before we go to commercial, I'll just say this to you. I don't know if you've heard. Netflix is looking to have Mina Kimes and Kay Adams do a double whatever, be the people on for the Christmas broadcast of NFL. Netflix is NFL's Christmas broadcast. Now those are the 2 people they're going to push on there. Apparently, Mina Kimes and Kay Adams I don't know if you know who those are.
They're
Females.
doing color and
I don't know
play-by-play.
if they're doing color. I don't know if they're doing color, but I saw that. I think they're doing some pregame show. If they're doing color, I think, oh boy. But like even in the fact that that's a headline, you already know. I mean, Whitlock and JB and Steve already ran with it, and man, interesting time we're at, Big Matt.
I don't have a problem with people being in the business. I don't give a fuck. On top of not having a problem, I don't care. I'm not gonna watch the Christmas Day broadcast anyway. I could give a shit. Like I'm. To be honest with you, Tom Brady's on the broadcast. He's terrible. Yeah. Tom is awful. He's fucking terrible at the broadcasting, bro. Like he's on, and I want to hit mute. Like I'm watching Red Zone, so I don't give a shit who the broadcasters are.
Yeah, I like Greg. I mean, Tom is at number one at Fox. I did like Greg Olson. I still think he does a hell of a job. But nonetheless, hey, great first half of the show. We still have a ton to talk about. But we had Zayne DeSouza, Colorado 2025 tight end signee on the show earlier, and he discussed his signing, discussed his offseason plans and more. We couldn't thank him enough for joining. When we come back, we're going to talk about Colorado's early signing day and how it was a success. We're going to break down the 14 signees. I mean, man, a lot of talent headed to Boulder. We're going to break that down. We're going to break down the Big 12 awards. And only 3 players from Colorado made, first team?
3 players made first team. 1 guy made second team, and a bunch of honorable mentions.
Unbelievable. We got to talk about that. We're going to break that down. And then our guy, and he's been on this show, Matt, you just mentioned him, former Colorado quarterback and Fox Sports' very own Joe Klatt, Joe and Jason Whitlock to debate the hit on Shedeur Sanders. And I want to show a little clip of that and discuss it. We're going to discuss the transfer.
Everybody going to get mad at Joel for going on the show?
That's a good question. Buff Nation, how do you feel about Joe Klatt going on Whitlock?
Because I went on Whitlock's show and I got called a fucking turncoat and a coward and all this other. Like I got attacked by everybody and their fucking mother. So is everybody going to turn on Klatt too? Oh no, that's not a thing anymore. So you guys pick and choose who can talk. That sounds very left to me.
Very left to you, right? We'll also talk, and we'll do this every episode. And the transfer portal window opens on the 9th, but we're going to highlight a couple players that could be on.
Bro, they've got to fix this. They cannot. All this recruiting happening right now, and the transfer portal being open on December 9th in the middle of bowl game season is the dumbest shit
such
ever.
A mess.
Why the fuck? How it gives such an advantage to teams that aren't in the playoff.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's if CU doesn't play until December 29th because of that's probably when they're going to play. That's like I know we got a staff working on it and shit, and they'll figure it out. But how about we just do it after the day after the national title game, the transfer portal opens, and then everybody can just do it evenly. And you don't have to worry about that shit right now, and the players don't have to worry about it. You can just do Christmas and bowl games and end the season correctly. Why does college football make everything so fucking complicated, dude? It's unbelievable to me.
I don't know, Matt. It's your idea was great. If it happened day after the Natty, man, I think that would be much better than this. It seems a lot. I mean, everything like you said does give an advantage to teams that aren't in the playoff or playing right now. Man, let's go ahead and take our commercial. 2 minutes. We'll come back, break down everything I just mentioned. And some Thursday Night Football, Packers versus Lions. We're going to talk about it, give a little betting. Shout out to Bet Online. But, hey, we'll take commercial. We'll be back at 2. Peace.
Whether it's offensive linemen as they work combos and double teams and also pass, pro, and punch, I think the unique physicality of this is outstanding. So much so that you can use it for your shield on punt team or as you rush in the shield. There's so many different ways that we're using it. We get better a little bit every single day, and I just wanted to say thank you because I hadn't ever thought of this, and when I saw it, it made total sense, and we're doing a great job with it. So thank you, man. Go Big Red. What this has done for us is it's allowed us to, because of the surface area, because of its firm nature, I can still strike against another player and have to use that punch just like you do on a sled. At the same time, have to time my punch because it could move. I can teach defensive linemen how to handle double teams because they can feel pressure. We can simulate contact in a safe environment in non-contact times because of this unique bag.
Welcome down here to the Lab 60 Football Academy, 60 Strength and Fitness. I am your owner and operator, Matt McChesney. I just wanted to let everybody know that 60 is now on Cameo. You can go on Cameo and request any tips for training, any offensive line, defensive line tips, recruiting tips. I get so many inquiries in my inbox on a daily basis about tips and can you look at my film and can you do this? Can you break down something for me? I'd love to. All right? It's like the Joker said, my man, right here. If you're good at something, never do it for free. So Cameo is now your bridge to 60 Football Academy. Go in, request what you want, tips, suggestions, recruiting, film, and we will make sure that you get the absolute best from the best. So check out 60 on Cameo at 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy. Cameo, 60 Academy.
And we're back here. Matt, you there?
Yeah, I'm
good, bro. That's all good. Hold on. For those watching, go ahead and become a member of the Dungeon family. Hit that like button, subscribe. We've been off for a couple days, but we cannot thank you enough, man. This channel is really taking off, and we cannot thank you enough. Go ahead and drop the link. Go ahead and become a member of the Dungeon family. Member up. A couple times this offseason in chat, we're gonna go members only to shout out our members and those who are members of the Dungeon family as we continue to grow this community here. Go ahead and click that link, become a member of the Dungeon family for only $2.99. Best $2.99 you ever spent in your life.
Atwater, love him. Me too. You should go on and check out the show that we did with Steve.
Yeah,
from the gym. We do a show with him every year. He's a great friend of mine.
Yeah,
and he's one of the very rarely am I starstruck. Like it only happened to me maybe 3 times in my life from a football perspective.
Right.
And it was like meeting Steve for the first time when I was a Bronco was pretty cool. But then being able to work with him on the radio for so long and whatnot. And every time I see him, I'm like, hey, I found all these football cards. Will you sign them? And he's just like, yeah. And just like, he's just the nicest guy on earth, bro. The Smiling Assassin is truly the best nickname on earth for 2-7. And that's bad man right there, Steve Atwater, I'll tell you.
Yeah, absolutely. NFL Hall of Famer right there. And we had him on the show earlier this season, about a month ago. So go ahead and look on YouTube. Go find that interview. Go check it out. We appreciate you.
Yes, I am moving like an old man, bro. That black ice on Monday morning over at the gym when we got done. So my gym opens up into a big courtyard, and the runoff from up top goes down the concrete, and the concrete's black, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And I went to get in my car, and I parked on an ice sheet pretty much. And I slipped, man, and I fell on my 5-level fusion, and oh my God, dude. It takes a lot for me not to be able to sit here and talk. I've been on my back I went back to the gym last night, and I couldn't do anything. I was just sitting there. It's terrible. So I couldn't get into the doc until tomorrow. So I'm praying to God that I don't need a revision or I didn't do something bad, but it's pretty shitty. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, man, that is shitty. And praying for you, man. That's really unfortunate, and goddamn black ice, man. Those watching, keep Big Matt in your prayers, man. And we appreciate all the support, man. Matt, I hope we figure that out here. But man, let's get into it, Matt. Let's discuss. We got a lot to discuss before we get out of here. Colorado had a very successful early signing day. 14 new signees, headlined by Julian Lewis, obviously. Chauncey Gooden, big lineman and stuff. But I wanted to go ahead and break this down. Just a couple of these guys here. Matt, any names that still really stick out of you that you want to kind of discuss? Obviously, Zayne DeSouza, tight end commit, let's start with him first. What do you think he'll bring to the Buffs? He's now signed. We had him on earlier this season, and he discussed being a commit. He's also a basketball player, so he's athletic. Love football players that are hoopers as well. But what does Zayne bring to Colorado at the tight end position?
He's just a big physical specimen. He can really, really run. He's going to be a huge matchup problem for people in the middle of the field. Mm-hmm. He's super athletic, and he's as athletic as a receiver in a tight end's body at 6'8". So that is a really, really good combination, to say the least. So he's special. He's the Colorado kid that jumped on his opportunity, which I dig. Mm-hmm. He's a leader. You know what I'm saying? He's already talking about getting the other guys in the room. Yep. You know, it's the big three technique from IMG. The big white boy, he's a fucking animal. I can't remember his name, McPherson maybe. Yep. That kid is an absolute freak animal. Okay, and that's the kind of beast we need on the defensive line moving forward. Flipping Juju and Carde from USC is huge. Mm-hmm. Yep. They end up getting that corner, or did he go to
Graham? Are you talking about Alex Graham? He actually ended up flipping to USC.
Well, so we traded Graham. We traded Graham for Juju and Carde.
Looks like it.
Good trade.
Yeah.
Good trade. I think that the class is deep. I think the class is good. I think the class is. I think we're way past icy hot, homie. I think the class has the potential to kind of mix with this class that's there now. Right. And really, really be, the foundation for stability moving forward. Some of these kids aren't going to pan. Mm-hmm. That's the way football works. So now it's, now that the bridge has been extended and they're on campus, and I'm sure Julian Lewis is going to early enroll. Why wouldn't he? So he'll be there in the spring, so that can suffice for his red shirt. The early enrolling stuff, if you have the ability to early enroll and you don't do it, you're either playing sports like Zayne is, he's finishing his senior year basketball season, or your grades aren't good enough to early enroll. But if you can early enroll, bro, you have got to do it these days, because that's winter conditioning, spring ball, the entire summer schedule, everything that comes with that. You get a huge jump on school and a huge jump physically. You're not sitting around second semester waiting to go play while everybody else is working. So I wish I would have early enrolled back in the day. I don't know why it wasn't even brought up to me, considering I was 8 minutes away from campus. What the fuck? So, but it looks, it's different now than it has been. So getting as many of these cats on campus as possible. I know all the IMG guys are early enrolling, just like Jordan last year. I am the king of early enrollment. So, it's I think that this recruiting class is really good. It's really deep. The 5-star guard that they got is an absolute monster of a human. What is it? Gooden, Chauncey Gooden?
Chauncey Gooden.
Not here. Dude, watching his film, he's moving people. So, yeah, man, I love the brick shithouse that they recruited and flipped from UCF. And look, I love that they're doing it. They're flipping guys. They're not just recruiting kids. Like they're going after other teams' recruits.
Yeah.
That's some straight pinky shit right there. That's some pimp shit right there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right? If you don't know who Pinky is, I know, Bailey, do you know who Pinky is?
No. Matt, you don't. Come on.
Just watch one of the Friday movies, bro, and you'll figure out who Pinky is. But it's some pimp shit. It's like, oh, I like this guy's stock, and I'm going after it. And they do, and they've got a lot to. I'm not going to say sell. They have a lot to give. So right now, there's open opportunity. That's the other thing. All this success. Well, all these guys are leaving. So now there's going to be open opportunity in Boulder to come replicate or get even better. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about winning the Big 12 title now for next year, because I know that Coach Prime's mad as hell. Deep down, I know the competitor inside that man is mad as hell that they didn't get the opportunity to go play because they're better than Arizona State and they're better than Iowa State. I think Arizona State's going to beat the dog shit out of Iowa State. And if Iowa State wins, it's their first conference title in the history of their school.
Yeah.
10-win season ever. So I got to tip my cap to Matt Campbell if he gets 11 wins and they win the Big 12. And I got to tip my cap to Dillingham. He's the coach of the year in the conference. What he did at Arizona State is incredible. They won the game against BYU they needed to win in order to get into the situation they're in. Colorado lost the game against Kansas to get into the Big 12 title game. So to the winner goes the spoils, and there it is. If CU was in the Big 12 title game, I think Coach Prime wins the award. Or it's split. Like they split it between the two coaches, and then they get to go play for the title. So that would have been pretty cool. I don't think that the TV networks or anybody was happy about Colorado not being in the game. Because Arizona State against Iowa State, it's going to be important in Ames in Arizona. But if it was Colorado, Arizona State, or Colorado, Iowa State for the Big 12 title, I think it would be the game of the weekend. So,
Matt, like you think it would be, the whole world would be watching. Colorado's been on national TV the entire season. We know what Colorado's
every single goddamn game.
Yeah, so we know that. I mean, you're spot on about that. TV would have definitely wanted CU to be in that Big 12 championship, and I think those running the playoff. CU making the playoffs is good for business if that were to happen. But yeah, like you mentioned, Colorado flipping recruits. Christian Hudson, it's so ironic. I think about we had Lawrence Vickers on week 4 before the UCF game, and we were talking about, oh man, everyone talking about all the recruits coming to that game. They're not coming for Colorado. They're not coming for Coach Prime. They're coming for UCF.
Never. They're coming for the program builder, Gus Malzahn.
Look where we're at, Matt. Christian Hudson was committed to UCF going into that game, and now we're sitting here discussing him, who, by the way, freak hell of a player. We're going to need to replace the original brick shit house Big 9-7 Chidoze. But, man, yeah, the fact they're flipping kids, I love it. I love to see it. Another kid I wanted to highlight is Quentin Gibson, short, small receiver out of Texas, Fort Worth. But don't let his size fool you. Kid's a hell of a player, shifty, man, physical for his size. Watch out for that kid, man. He's a hell of a player as well. Matt, go ahead.
Who other than Shador and Travis? This year, let's see. I don't know if they're leaving this year or not. Selman Craig is a pro. McKinley is a pro. Stoudemire is a pro. Both Bentley and Hill Green or Green Hill are pros. And 41's the second team linebacker.
Come on. I was going to tell you. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that.
Seaton is a pro. Cash Cleveland is a pro. Tyler Brown is a pro. Wester's a pro. Miller's a pro. The other Miller that got hurt's a pro.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Pretty much the entire defensive line, Arden, Sammy Sachs, all those guys are professional football players. I don't know if they're all first rounders, but again, I was undrafted and I got 7 years. So I don't care how you get in the door. It's just like college now. These kids that they brought in December, these are their draft picks. The kids they bring in February, those are their priority free agents.
Yeah.
That's the way this works. They're going to expect production. If you can't do it, the transfer portal is full.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. I hope and look, I really, really hope that you have a plan if you're going to the transfer portal. Because if you're just going,
talk about that. Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, we can talk about that more in length tomorrow. But there's so many kids that just go to the transfer portal, and I'm like, hey, you're in the portal. What's your plan? Oh, I've got this guy that helps me. Well, that's not a fucking plan. Who have you talked to? Who wanted you to go to the transfer portal? Why are you leaving your opportunity that you worked for to go try and sniff something better? Why don't you have something better lined up already and then just leave and go do it?
Yeah, I know.
Tampering, you legal idiots. Why are you not being tampered with?
Yeah, literally. That's what it is. It's Wild West. Whatever goes. Like you said, man, this is tampering is rampant. And so, like you said,
Shiloh's a pro. I don't know. what kind of pro he's going to be, because certain games I watch Shiloh and he looks like a fucking monster, and certain games I watch Shiloh and he looks like, well, one of the monsters from Monster, which aren't very scary. So like,
I think Shiloh's still a pro, but yeah,
certain games where he looks like an absolute stud. I mean, the way he hit Ollie Gordon the other day. By the way, I'm pretty sure that Shedeur told Ollie Gordon after the game, you should just transfer to Boulder. Do you see him in his ear? Like, yeah, okay. But yeah, I think that there's a ton of pros on the roster. And the beauty of this is I know that Coach Prime and the way his staff evaluates is, okay, we're recruiting this kid. Does he have the potential, if things go right, to be an NFL draft pick? And if everybody in the room says yes, or they get more yeses than nos, we're rolling. So it's no longer like, are his grades good? Is he a good kid? All these kids are good kids. That's not what I'm saying. Like, that's not the first thing we're talking about. Is his community service isn't our first thing we're talking about. It's his play and who he is and his size and his work ethic and shit. Not like, oh, well, yeah, he's big and he plays well sometimes and he has a lot of potential. Take 2 or 3 years to develop him. Then we got a real player. 2 or 3 years to develop him. Holy shit. That's like 30 years in college football terms these days. So
yeah,
there's no more time for that. If you're in high school and you can play and you're not doing your development actively, you're one of these guys that doesn't lift during the season and can't get out of bed, and mommy and daddy are always like, oh, we don't want him working out too early for him to work out, and he can't get there at 5 a.m. because he needs his sleepy sleep. I'm sorry, but there's other people that don't think like this, that understand the importance of work, and that are running right by you. Like, it's the off season has started at 6-0, bro. We're there at 5 a.m. with 30 kids working our dick off. There's guys in there that are going to be great players, and there's guys in there that suck that are going to be great players, because as long as you work in this game, you'll get something out of it, bro. So I'm telling you, man, hope that bed's warm. I hope mommy's chocolate chip pancakes are good at 8 a.m. because we're done by 8.
Yeah, you put out a tweet this morning. I was like, man, they're up and at it, man. I was like,
every fucking day, bro.
I'm awake at that time. I see him like, yep. Before we get out of here, I got to discuss this with you. We got to talk about this. Big 12 awards came out. Travis Hunter named Defensive Player of the Year. Shedeur Sanders named Offensive Player of the Year. BJ Green named Defensive Newcomer of the Year. But he had
a great year. He had 7 sacks, first team.
Yeah, a great year. But that's it. And Nikhai Hill-Green was named the second team. Obviously, Shedeur and Travis were named the first team Big 12 offensive team. But Matt, what are your thoughts on this? You'd expect to see more players, I would think.
I would have expected to see Wester and Cameron Craig somewhere for sure.
Right.
After that, I mean, I don't know who made honorable mention.
Oh, sorry. Here's the
linebackers. I can't really read that.
The linebackers: Baylor's Matt Jones, Baylor's Keaton Thomas, Texas Tech's Jacob Rodriguez.
Huh. So linebackers from teams that we eviscerated.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, man. Look, Travis should win Defensive Player of the Year. He should also win the Thorpe, but he won't. Shedeur is the Offensive Player of the Year. That's awesome. They're also both going to be unanimous All-American. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Shedeur and Travis are both unanimous All-Americans. So I don't know how you pick another quarterback to be the first-team quarterback. I don't know how you don't push Travis to be unanimous on both sides. So they'll have their names up in Folsom for the rest of their lives. So congratulations to that. Mm-hmm. I would think there'd be more guys, but there's a lot of players now. There's 16 teams in the Big 12, and there's only so many spots. So they can't just give every spot to Colorado guys. How many honorable mention players did we have? Because I know people look at honorable mention like it's not good, but it's a crazy mentality in my opinion. Honorable mention is an all-conference title. You just weren't first or second team. I don't even think they do a third team. So I'd like to see who got honorable mention.
I'm looking for honorable mention here. While I look for that, I will read a stat. Shedeur Sanders is Colorado first-team all-conference quarterback, the first one since Coy Detmer in 1996. The only other one to get as high as second-team since 1996 was Sam Neuer in 2020.
And that was the COVID year.
Yeah, that was a
I don't
COVID.
count, I'm sorry, but I don't count that year. Carl Durrell won Big 12 Coach or Pac-12 Coach of the Year in 2020. It was awesome.
Yeah. And by the way, these stats come from our main man, Brian Howell. We had Brian Howell on earlier this season.
He's a fucking man, bro.
He is the man. He is awesome. Here's another one. With Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter earning Big 12 Player of the Year honors, it's the third time in Colorado history it has had the conference offensive and defensive Player of the Year. The CU Buffs also did it in 1989. Big Eight, Darian Hagan, and Alfred Williams. And then in 1990 with the Big Eight with Eric Bieniemy and Williams. I don't know. He didn't leave Alfred Williams. Yeah. So there you have it.
Me too.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still looking for those honorable mentions.
Yeah,
but
if you can't find them, you can't find them. It is what it is. It's all good.
But hey, yeah, I mean, nonetheless, I would expect to see more players. We look on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, Jordan Tyson's a hell of a player. I don't know how you don't put LaJohntay Wester on there. Personally, I think he is very underrated.
Jordan Tyson is a buff. Jordan Tyson played at CU for 3 years before he went to Arizona State.
Yeah,
so
I understand. But
he's one of the guys that I wish wouldn't have left, and we see now why, because he's a fucking stud. I have no problem with Jordan Tyson being on the list. Wester not being on this list is shitty, but who are you going to replace?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Like, my thing is Wester's not even a second-team wide receiver. That is where that's more egregious than the 3 first-team nods.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he just gets overshadowed. He's got so much damn talent around him, man. What you gonna do?
And then look, the Seaton thing. Like, Jordan Seaton should have been at least second-team tackle. Like, if I'm him, I'm pissed. Like, he's not the offensive newcomer of the year. Jordan Seaton, everything he did for that football team and starting every game as a freshman, he better be first-team freshman All-American. I'll tell you that shit. Yeah.
Well, I found your honorable mentions. Starting with Preston Hodge, DB, Alejandro Mata, great kicker.
The potato.
Tajay McCoy, edge rusher. DJ McKinney, Chidozie Nwankwo, the brick shithouse, as you like to call him. Jordan Seaton, honorable mention. Cameron Silman Craig, Mark Vassett, the punter, and then LaJohntay Wester.
You're telling me Arden Walker didn't get nothing? Arden fucking Walker didn't get anything.
Not that I see.
All right, hey, 5'3". Motivated yet? Hey, 5'3", who just had 8 sacks and was the best defensive end in the Big 12. Motivated yet, homie? They don't think you can play. Wow. That one's more like, bro, we had how many defensive player of the week awards did we have for defensive linemen, and none of those guys made the team?
Yeah, like McNeil. Think about the guys that won awards from the
I mean, we'll look up Walker and Sammy Sacks just stats. Like bro, like my senior year, I had 60 tackles, 13 TFLs, and 9 sacks at 3 technique, and I was third team all Big 12 or some shit. Like, look at Arden's numbers and tell me he shouldn't fucking be out there.
Arden Walker's stats: 31 total tackles, 23 solo, 8 assists, 4.5 sacks, and a forced fumble.
That's pretty good. Like, that's not honorable mention all Big 12. Look, next year when he doubles those numbers, he'll be first team.
Yeah.
Because look, what was Green the third's numbers? Because he had 8 sacks, and he was the newcomer of the year and first team defensive end, right?
Yeah, here first, before I read his stats, I'll read Sammy Sacks' stats. He had 25 total tackles, 16 solo, 9 assists, and 3 sacks.
All right, so maybe I'm overvaluing how many sacks they actually had. Okay, that's a little CU bias.
You're right about it.
They're really good because we watch them every week. But if you're just looking at the numbers and you're trying to build an all Big 12 team, that's probably what kept them off.
Fair. And BJ Green's stats, who did get Big 12 first team on newcomer. 30 total tackles, 19 solo, 11 assists, 7.5 sacks, 2 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery.
Yeah, the 7.5 sacks right there. That's what does it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
My senior year, though, I had 9 sacks, and I didn't get first team All Big 12. The guy that got in front of me had no sacks.
Yeah, 9
So
sacks.
this is a popularity
That's
contest.
like crazy, man. That's
It's okay. It is what it is. I'm saying, like, it's a popularity contest on top of it too. Like,
yeah, that's true.
I think the fact that CU is so popular and there's so many guys that could be on the list, they intentionally keep guys off the list because CU is so good. I don't think you can just have a team all of Colorado players. Yeah, but hey, let's be real. We're sitting here complaining, but we've got the offensive player of the year, the defensive player of the year, and the newcomer of the year. And they couldn't give the coach of the year to Coach Prime, too. So everybody knows who the team of the Big 12 is. I know Arizona State and Iowa State are playing for the title, but CU didn't get to play either one of those teams this year. So I still think Colorado's the best team in the Big 12. I watched Kansas whip Iowa State's ass. I think Kansas might beat Arizona State's ass unless they have to play Baylor. What the fuck? Kansas went out and played Baylor and looked like an absolute shell of themselves.
They got destroyed. Like I've never that Colorado was their Super Bowl, no doubt. And by the way, Neal wasn't even on this list. They had R.J. Harvey and Scatabo, the Arizona State running back, ahead of Neal. Neal's not even on that list. So I was just like,
Scatabo should be fucking on this list.
Yeah, but yeah, Kansas got drummed by the Baylor last week. I will say there was a lot of betting money on Kansas, but I did not expect them to go down there and get drummed like that. Kansas also, I don't believe, has won against Baylor in 15 years or something. I read on the Saturday, so there's something to that as well.
What's hypocritical that I think that CU is good, so that's why certain guys just made honorable mention?
No. A lot of people think that they're keeping players off. That's what his point is.
That's what I just fucking said. Yeah. Is that not what I just said? The fact that Colorado is so popular and so good is keeping other players off of the team because we just had the offensive, defensive, and newcomer of the year. They can't just load first and second team with all Colorado kids. How would that look with 16 teams in the conference? They have to diversify. What we're talking, what are you talking about, dog? That's exactly what I just said. I think that CU beats Arizona State, and I think that CU beats Iowa State in this game. Yeah, in Tempe in the middle of the season, I don't know. We'll have to talk about that next year because Arizona State comes to Boulder next year. But right now, in the Big 12 title game, if CU was playing either one of these teams, I would take CU. Yeah,
I agree, and I'm with you on that one. CU in the title game, and it's all right. Really, that's not accurate. I'll let you watch, but you're gonna.
They went from 4-8 to 9-3, and they were in the conference race until literally the last minute of the last Big 12 game of the year. Everybody was watching BYU Houston to see if Colorado would get in, and praying to God that they would, so they could watch them again. So again, you can sit here and talk shit all you want. That's fine, but you've been removed for a reason.
Yeah, and you can still watch. You can't say nothing. I just muted you. I didn't actually ban you, so it's okay.
All right, then muted. Yeah, that means.
Yeah, exactly. Man, Matt, it's good to be back, man. Great show on this fine Thursday. We had Colorado tight end Zayne DeSouza on. Before we get out of here, shout out to Trav for the donation.
The ultimate orgasm. True.
It was Colorado's their Super Bowl.
Kansas went in and blew their load all over the place, and then was just a total shell of themselves the next time they had to go fuck.
Yeah, they didn't even get they would have won. They bowl eligible. I was like, man, that was a.
They might still make a bowl game with how many goddamn bowl games there are.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Before we get out of here, Matt, Thursday Night Football tonight on Amazon Prime. Oh no, your favorite platform of all time, Amazon Prime. The Packers take on the Lions in a division.
Hold on a second. Hold on. We'll get to that in a second. Hold on. Sorry.
That's okay.
Last time I checked, BYU and Iowa State are above CU in the Big 12 conference. Y'all will say anything nowadays. Did you not listen to what I said? These guys none of these three played each other. So all we can do is speculate on who we think is best.
All hypothetical.
They all have the same conference schedule. They got in because of tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Not because one team beat the other team. It's a bunch of teams that haven't played each other. So, again, bro, I think that on paper, CU's better than those two teams. They lost a game that they needed to win to get in. The other two didn't, so that's why they're playing. That's it. I mean, if you actually think you can watch Iowa State and think that that team is better than the team in Boulder, I wish we could play the game and figure it out.
Yeah, and let me ask you. This is a good question. Your bowl game matchup wish. I would love to see Colorado go play Miami in the holiday.
Yes,
personally.
Look,
Or I think also
they're probably going to go Alamo and play Iowa State or BYU.
Yeah,
and I hope it's Iowa State because then we can let guy in the chat have it. If it's BYU's in trouble. They're not going to be able to fuck with our speed. Iowa State plays pretty good defense. That'll be the Alamo Bowl, either BYU or Iowa State, another conference game. I want CU to play Miami in the Holiday Bowl badly. Like it will force Cam Ward and the U guys to play. Colorado versus Miami is a good matchup. I think the ratings will be through the fucking roof. It's an opportunity to slate the two quarterbacks that are at the top of the list this year for the draft against each other. And then if Cam Ward and the Miami guys don't want to play, you think sitting out makes you look bad. Go sit out when the first player in the draft above you is going to play.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
I want to see.
Have fun time to sit out then. So I really, really want CU against Miami in the Holiday Bowl. So I hope that there's some finagling going on behind the scenes to make this happen. You can put BYU and Iowa State in the fucking Alamo Bowl against each other. You don't need to waste CU on the Alamo Bowl against BYU or Iowa State. Put them in the Holiday Bowl against Miami or the Pop-Tarts Bowl or whatever the fuck. I don't care what the bowl game name is. Just put them in the game. Put them in a bowl game against the U.
That would be big time. Like that's a big time matchup. And if if my Colorado slated against Miami in whatever bowl, I would guess the Holiday Bowl.
It would be awesome.
It would be awesome. And if Cam Ward, they have to play. Like there's no like I don't like if I would be so like that would be such a bad look like you just mentioned. If Shador and they've already come out and said, hey, Colorado's playing and Colorado gets slated against Miami, and then Miami and Cristobal are like, hey, none of our guys are playing. We're getting ready for the draft. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, it is the select QB bowl. That is facts, and that's the other reason why I think it'd be a big time matchup. It'd be interesting. A lot of eyes would be on that. But yeah, I think if Colorado plays Miami, that would entice Miami to play, Cam Ward to play, and make for a hell of a matchup. A lot of eyes would be on it, obviously, because the whole world watches Colorado every week. But hey, great.
Back hurts, dog. Let's wrap this. Sorry.
It's all good. Quick prediction: Thursday night football tonight. Packers take on the Lions. Divisional matchup. Lions are 3.5-point favorites. I think it went down to 3. Over/under is 51.5. It opened at 48. Matt, your thoughts? Go ahead.
Hey, did you know that? I'm on FanDuel. Did you know that you can watch the game on FanDuel?
Yeah, it's a new thing now. I did see that on the app. Yeah.
You can go on there and just hit the button and the game pops up. So I don't need Prime. So fuck you, Prime. I got rid of Prime, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'll watch the game a different way. So right. I think this is a great football game. This is a really competitive, good football game this evening, which both these teams are in the playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a divisional matchup in the second round, because Green Bay is probably going to have to go on the road if they lose tonight. They win tonight, you might be talking about who's really the best team in the North. So, there's 3 playoff teams in the North. Who's going to get the home game? I think if Detroit wins this game, they're obviously in the driver's seat. But Green Bay is really explosive, and they got some dudes. And I think that the North is just a really deep, good fucking division. And we'll see. I'll take you know what? I'll take the Packers on the road tonight. I think that the Packers win and try and just make this race in the North even crazier.
Wow. Man, I think, like you said, this is going to be a playoff game at some point. 2 teams that are playing really, really well. I think it'll be a 3-point game. So that means the Packers cover, obviously. I think Detroit probably ends up winning, and I would bet the under, and I think it's going to be low scoring. Another one of those.
You think it's going to be low scoring? I think it's going to be like 38-35.
It's really. That's what everyone's been saying. That I personally really do think it's going to slow down.
I think that the DBs are going to be running for their lives, chasing people around tonight.
One thing I will say, Detroit's probably the most injured team. Them and San Fran are. They got 10 guys out on IR. I mean, JB said they're bringing in Arena League Cats. I don't know if that's true or not, but Detroit's got like 10 or 11 guys that are on injured reserve, and so
you want to see something cool?
Sure.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We're 9-3 and pissed off. That's how you know we're back, motherfucker.
Yes, CU is back. CU is back for sure.
That Heisman pose is going to look real good
when
Travis gets up there and wins the Heisman.
Damn right.
Won every award. I think Coach Prime should have won, but I can't get mad at them giving it to Kenny Dillingham. That guy's a stud. I'm very eager to see the national awards. They come out after this week.
Yep.
To the guys who didn't get what they think they deserved, either come back to school next year and do better, or if you're on your way out, go to the league and prove it. Because that's the thing. Go to the league and prove that they fucked up. And it'll be a bad mark on them. So
exactly. Amen. But hey, Matt, great show on this fine Thursday. We had Zayne DeSouza on. Go ahead and check that out. We appreciate you. We're going to be back right here tomorrow. We got so much to talk about that we didn't even get to cover today. Joel Klatt joins Jason Whitlock. That's going to be a big thing we're going to talk about tomorrow. We're going to talk about some transfers that I think Colorado should seriously have their eye on as the transfer portal window opens on the 9th of December, and so much more. Matt, any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, I need a fucking back rub. God damn, dog. Jesus Christ.
I understand, man. I hope you feel better.
So we'll be back tomorrow. Maybe we might have Bucky on tomorrow. I don't know. He's pretty busy right now.
Right.
We may have Bucky on tomorrow. We may not. If not, we'll just get on and talk shop, talk about the conference championship games and the weekend coming up and whatnot. I'm very eager to talk about the playoff brackets. We'll talk about that tomorrow as well. Because I think that there's a lot of, depending on who wins, there could be a lot of movement. I know people are mad that Alabama's in. Like, you dumb motherfuckers think that wasn't going to happen. They're not leaving Alabama out, dog. Alabama could have been 6-6, and they find a way to get this team in.
Yeah.
This is 2 years in a row. They're just like, well, fuck it. Just go in, see what happens. So we'll talk about all that as we go too. And yeah, man. Enjoy your day. And Bailey, we'll talk.
Absolutely. Great show. Those watching, we appreciate you. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Hit that like button, subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.